Hello, this is Ellie Currents, and I'm Natalia Bilbao. Founded in 1781, El Pueblo de la Reina de Los Angeles became the second civil settlement in Alta California. Now, El Pueblo is an area where different events, celebrations, and community meetups take place, cementing LA's diverse nature. Joining me today to discuss its evolution and current significance is Arturo Chavez, General Manager at El Pueblo Historic Monument. Thank you so much for being here, Arturo.
Thank you, Natalia.
So tell me, I know El Pueblo is described as the heart of Los Angeles, but what does it mean to you specifically?
Well, it's actually the heart of Los Angeles, but the birthplace of Los Angeles. So what does it mean is that this is where the city grew. This is where the city started, and this is where the city has expanded, as you can see how big we are as the city of Los Angeles now. But this was the original place that the city was founded.
And I know you've been working in public service for quite a few years. What drew you to El Pueblo specifically?
Well, interestingly enough, I'm an immigrant, born in Juarez, and when I was just a little child is that we came on the train from Juarez, and the first thing we saw was El Pueblo.
That's great. So, as an immigrant who then lives in Los Angeles and soaks in the culture and the diversity and the colors, how do you think the significance of El Pueblo has sort of evolved for the Hispanic community specifically?
El Pueblo is, like a plaza, right? Mm-hmm. In any country that you go in Mexico or even in south of the border, right? Any of the Central American countries, there's a plaza, there's a placita. Placita. Which is called, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where people gather at night. That's where people gather throughout the day. They shop, they eat, they meet boyfriends and girlfriends, they turn around and those activities, it's what brings people back, right? Because they're familiar with that, right? And that's where people are so attracted to it because it brings back memories of your hometowns.
I'm curious to know as well, what other things do you think are significant about El Pueblo at large?
The significance is that it shows the cultural diversity of the city.
Right.
We have a plaque there that has the 44 original pobladores, right? Mm-hmm. And many of those were indigenous, many of those were African American. And so what ends up happening is that it shows the differences of people coming together to build a city, right, during that period of time. Mm-hmm. We also have 8 museums on site. We have the oldest house in the city of Los Angeles, the Casa Avila, mm-hmm. which is the oldest house standing, right, in the city mm-hmm. of Los Angeles. And it's a museum and it shows and depicts exactly what life was like in those times, right? We also have the Siqueiros mural, which was built in 1932. It was actually painted. It was whitewashed the day after its announcement. We've preserved that. Yeah, we've mm-hmm. preserved that through grants from the Getty. So with that, right, we also have the Chinese American Museum there.
Yep.
And we also have the Italian American Museum, which are both housed at El Pueblo, both housed on what people call Olvera Street or La Placita.
I love though that it's not just a center. Everybody associates it with Hispanic culture, but you're saying it's not just Hispanic culture. It extends to all the other almost communities that are part of Los Angeles. But since we're celebrating Hispanic heritage, what are the things that you've been focusing on this year?
Well, we kick off this, Hispanic Heritage with the 16th of September, right? And so mm-hmm. the 16th of September, we have recognized the Grito, which is the independence of Mexico, mm-hmm. right? On the 15th, we celebrate on the 16th. We typically have celebrations there every year, and we've done that. But we also have a lot of cultural events that are sponsored mm-hmm. Through the department and through the Olvera Street Merchants Association Foundation, or as we call it, OSMOF. Mm-hmm. OSMOF does about 5 cultural events a year, and these include this month actually coming in. As soon as we come off the Hispanic Heritage Month, we start coming into the Day of the Dead, or mm-hmm. Dia de los Muertos as it's known. We just had that kickoff on the 7th when we had the Catrina exhibit by Lily La Catrina, and we had the art walk, what they call the Muertos Art Walk. We'll have the 5K Muertos Run, which is coming up too. And then we have from the 25th of October through the 2nd of November, the Day of the Dead celebrations, culminating in the 2nd, right? Mm-hmm. With entertainment, plays, and blessings, a combination of various indigenous cultures as well as the Catholic cultures that are there and mm-hmm. other things that are there. And so what we do is we have these celebrations every day, every night, and then there's a procession that goes down Olvera Street, and then entertainment that goes on through the evening. Mm-hmm. Then that goes through to the posadas, of course, right? Which
yep.
is another another so many days that we do the same thing. We run through all these things through December, and then we go through our biggest thing, which is the blessing of the animals. So it instills a culture, right, and maintains a cultural awareness for most people in the city, for the foundation of the city of Los Angeles, and in particular with a lot of the Mexican culture, because we were part of Mexico for quite some time. We have a lot of the history there. We have the 3-story building that's the Pico House. That was the first 3-story hotel in the city of Los Angeles. That was built by Pio Pico, who was the last Mexican governor of the state of California. And so, we have a lot of that history, but we share that history with everyone else. But since we're in Hispanic Heritage Month, we should be talking about the culture that happens.
We need to highlight it. Hoy me acompaña Arturo Chavez, que es el director general del Monumento Histórico del Pueblo, para conversar acerca de su evolución y significado para la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Gracias, Arturo. Ya sé que la siguiente pregunta va a ser complicada de contestar porque es como decir quién es tu hijo favorito, pero ¿cuál es tu celebración favorita del pueblo?
Para mí los Días de los Muertos, porque es una cosa que es más orgánico. Okay? 35 años la calle de Olvera ha tenido esta celebración.
Wow.
35 años.
Ininterrumpidos.
Interrumpidos en el sentido de que cada año tienen esta celebración, tienen los altares que se ponen que son muy original, no son gran, pero son orgánicos por las personas que están ahí, y una celebración de la vida. Entonces, ese evento, como han dicho anteriormente, es pre-Coco,
sí.
que la película, que todo el mundo después de eso empezaron con las cuestiones del Día de los Muertos. Pero esto es un lugar original, donde nació, o sea, seguida, porque es un evento cultural que se celebra en México. Entonces, eso por esa parte es importante, que la gente viene a ver no lo comercial, pero lo original y lo verdadero de los Días de los Muertos.
Sí, como lo genuino, lo auténtico, ¿no? Y eso es lo bonito del pueblo también, creo, ¿no? Que es como que ha preservado esa identidad tan genuina, esas raíces realmente, y no ha sido como comercializado, como que es súper auténtico y original. Bueno, además que es considerado un monumento histórico. ¿Y qué significa eso de que el pueblo sea monumento histórico?
Importante en la ciudad de Los Ángeles. ¿Por qué? Porque lo que pasa es que tenemos edificios que son muy antiguos, ¿verdad? Y el desarrollo de la ciudad ha destruido muchos edificios que son históricos. Entonces, la preservación y la manera de que notamos a todos los edificios que son históricos es importante. En este momento estamos con un plan que se llama
Un plan maestro.
Maestro, que da una idea de qué se puede hacer con participación de comunidad, con participación de las personas que están ahí, para desarrollar qué se puede hacer, qué se puede tocar, qué no se puede tocar, qué se puede ampliar, qué no se puede ampliar, que es una manera de conectar el centro cívico con el pueblo también. Todas esas discusiones y pláticas tienen que tomar a cabo. Obviamente se tiene que ver para tener un plan más claro de cómo se puede desarrollar más y no cambiar, porque mucha gente piensa que van a cambiar, pero lo que va a pasar es de cómo se va a preservar y cómo se va a ampliar. Y eso es importante en este tiempo.
Y hablabas mucho, Arturo, de comunidad, que es importante que la comunidad participe. Justamente, ¿cuál es la mejor manera de que la comunidad se mantenga informada y participe de todos los eventos del pueblo?
Tenemos una página de web, estamos en las redes sociales, estamos en Instagram, estamos en Facebook, y también estamos en una red social del sitio, ¿verdad? Que es el Pueblo de Los Ángeles, movimiento historial. Lo que pasa es que hay mucha gente que tiene otras cosas que se llama Olvera Street. Nosotros no tenemos eso. Nosotros tenemos el nombre muy grande, pero un departamento muy pequeño, pero un lugar muy importante. Y eso es el monumento histórico de Los Ángeles.
Well, thank you so much, Arturo, for talking with us today about the history and evolution of el Pueblo de Los Ángeles. Gracias, Arturo, por conversar con nosotros acerca de la historia y evolución del Pueblo de Los Ángeles.
Oh, gracias, Natalia. Thank you, Natalia.
This is LA Currents. I am Natalia Bilbao. Thank you so much for watching. Esto es LA Currents. Soy Natalia Bilbao. Gracias por vernos.